Welcome to Pat's Cast, the unofficial Regina Pats podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Chris.
And this is our episode for March 3rd, 2019.
Rattling feed, stolen by Dubinsky, one-on-one to the Red Deer zone, cuts left, into the circle, shoots and scores! Cole Dubinsky!
Wow, that was a big league play by Cole Dubinsky.
Into the slot, Davidson shoots, blocked, rebound, great save, McNabb. Another check, oh, what a glove save for Dean McNabb on Chase Waters. What a stop! And they're going to get a standing ovation from the fans here at the Brandt Center. Oh, I'm getting emotional.
Okay, a couple games to look at this week, 3 games in total. Overall, I just want to say the general impression I got from this week was it's 3 teams that we played that are gearing up, ready for playoff. They're playoff caliber teams, and we're not. And I think that was just
Very evident. Yeah,
very evident this week. These 3 teams all gearing up, getting ready for playoffs, getting fine-tuned for playoff push. Really, all these teams could be there somewhere high up in the finals. There, I wouldn't be surprised to see any team making a bit of a push. So quality teams coming in here, and a tough week for us in terms of outcomes, and a few kind of rough games. I thought, looking at Red Deer, these games just didn't flow well.
Yeah, they weren't very exciting.
No, they were not. We can just kick it off with the Red Deer game. Pretty rough first couple periods. Again, just outplayed by a better team in this case. First 2 periods, we only managed 13 shots. Third period, we did kind of bring it on a little bit. We actually got 21-4 shots in that period against them.
Yeah, I think that's more of a fact that they were sitting back maybe a little bit. It was 4-1, and they didn't really push back a ton. Like, yeah, sure, we had shots. We didn't have maybe a ton of grade A scoring chances, but
no.
They blocked a lot of shots too as well.
Right.
The power play didn't look good that game. It was the entry. We can't get into the zone, get control of the puck. And if we have a face-off, our face-offs are struggling. We lose the draw. It's out down to our end. So the power play was decent in February as a whole, but it just, the optics of it don't look good.
Yeah, they just aren't able to. Yeah, the zone entry is poor. They dump and chase. I'm not criticizing that decision, but if you're going to do that, you have to.
Have to recover it. Yeah,
you have to get it. And it doesn't happen that often. They get, and again, these are young guys. They're playing these better teams with just stronger, bigger opponents, so they do get outmanned and outgunned a little bit.
You can see there's a couple different styles of entry they tried, so it looks like they've been working on it lately.
Yeah.
They tried to drop pass a couple times and that stuff, but yeah, they're working on it.
Yeah. I mean, overall, anything specific you want to say about the Red Deer game?
Dubinsky getting that goal, that was kind of a nice goal. It gave them some life there, but they just couldn't, take advantage of that.
Yeah.
And then it's the late goal, and then it's an early goal again.
Yeah.
Late in the second, late in the first, was it? Early in the second?
Yeah.
So, those ones are so tough to give up.
They are. We have a bad habit of that too.
Yeah,
giving up those late goals, like literally seconds left in periods, and it's like, oh, really? Yeah, 19-18 of the first they scored, and then 55 seconds in they scored.
Exactly.
Okay.
I know. Same thing with the Moose Jaw game last weekend, right? It was that late goal to make it 3-1 or whatever. Right?
Yeah. And Red Deer had some. They're getting some point shots. The guy from. It was the same guy that scored 2, actually, that defenseman who hardly scores at all, and then he scored 2 on us. And
just finding a way through, right?
Yeah, so, I mean, they're tough goals for Paddock or anyone to stop. And
you get all those bodies in front. And
So it wasn't that they were terribly skillful goals and, nice, pretty goals, but they're getting through and they're getting them, so. That was a tough one. I was hoping for a bit of a better bounce back in Saskatoon. Again, Saskatoon, it looks like a good team. I wouldn't want to be running them into the playoffs. So
honestly, that first round, Saskatoon Moose Jaw, that could be real good. Both those teams are real good.
Yeah. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago. How that is going to be an absolute doozy of a playoff run matchup. Maybe even worth something checking out. Quick trip over to Moose Jaw. It's kind of, we went to a game last year. Was it Moose Jaw, PA? No, Swift Current.
Yeah, first game there.
Yeah. It's kind of fun watching it as a.
Neutral
I wouldn't say
fan.
neutral.
Okay, yeah, I guess we were cheering for Moose Jaw. But
Yeah,
I mean,
we were then.
no vested interest. I
Yeah,
guess.
this one though, this year, I hate Moose Jaw. I think I'd be pulling for Saskatoon just because they haven't had the success in a long time, and they have a good team. But regardless, I think that's going to be a really good matchup. Saskatoon looks good. They made us look not good. I guess the only bright spot from that is, okay, this game in its entirety, starting from the first period early, was just penalty after penalty. That first period
it was a penalty parade. Yeah,
was horrible. It had no flow. It was hard to even watch and get into. Ultimately, I mean, I guess we want to take something bright out of it. Is Saskatoon went 0 for 9 on their power play, which was, they have a pretty good power play. Flip side of it is we went 0 for 7 on ours. Unusual for a game with 16 penalties to have no power
goals.
Play.
Yeah,
but we gave up that shorty, and then
that was just a tough break, just a bounce off Cole's skate, and guy gets sent out on a breakaway and he scores.
Yeah,
it's like, oh.
Didn't look good. Oh, and then again, we started with 10 shots in the first, 5 in the second, and 4 in the third, and that's just not gonna win you many games getting that many shots. Overall, again, these are good teams, and I think we got exposed this week, and Saskatoon really did take it to us that week. So McNabb had the start in that one because that was leading into the afternoon game on the Saturday with Lethbridge. Overall, this was a better game. We just didn't have the finish. We looked at least had a bit of energy and played a bit better in this one.
Yeah, late first and into the second, we had some decent looks. Just couldn't get a goal there. And
when it got to 3-0, and we scored that one goal, we thought, okay, if we can get we can get some momentum. But then they scored again with like 30 seconds later. And it's just like, ugh.
It was a bad turnover there, and
so that was Riker Evans. We really like his game, but he made a big mistake there. He took it up. He was carrying the puck, and I don't know. Like, I guess it brings up the discussion. Do you like them kind of taking those chances right now and trying some things? In reality, these games don't have too much impact. Do you like seeing them do that, or would you rather them not?
No, I think I do. I do like seeing them trying to make plays. They're young. They're going to make mistakes, and they're going to learn from them. So let's make these mistakes now. And you go from there. Like Haroff was saying in the one pre-game interview, he said, some of these guys are going to be making mistakes, but as long as we learn from them, let's make them worthwhile. Let's make the mistakes worthwhile, right?
Yeah. Then maybe it's better that they did get scored on, because then it's just that more stuck in your brain.
Yeah,
that,
exactly.
I cannot go up the middle of the ice
and
try and dangle
two guys
and lose it.
Yeah,
and give them a break, and they score on us. Yeah, I agree. You may as well try these things and learn from them, but the learning from them is the key takeaway here. Overall, I mean, it was a good game. It was fun. I should have recorded it. I didn't see what it looked like on TV, but I hope it looked better than last week's in Moose Jaw in terms of the stands.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, total attendance was 5,946, so not quite a sellout, but pretty good. It was a busy game. There's lots of kids. It was fun. I think we gave Jake and Nick and Scott for that matter, a good welcome back. And
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, sounds like Sportsnet didn't even acknowledge that fact.
Mm-hmm.
They just, I got a text from Steve from Fanboys, and he's like, "Did you guys do a tribute to them?"
Yeah.
Because they came back from break, and they were just talking about Elmer, and they had the camera right on him because he's the hottest goal scorer right now. He had the 11-game goal streak, and he's like, I could see everybody standing and cheering, and I was like, yeah, they did a nice little video, and he's like, oh yeah, they didn't even acknowledge it in the whole game, so.
Which is unusual because that's kind of the whole narrative of this game.
Yeah,
right? It was like that was
definitely.
that was one of the reasons I thought maybe it was chosen, but I think it was chosen.
Yeah, I think
before.
they chose it before.
That's true.
But
yeah,
either way, no, it's kind of definitely an underlying storyline there. So
yeah, they should have. Would have nice to have that on the.
instead, they
broadcast.
played the carpool karaoke videos on national TV.
Oh, that's nice. I mean, those are funny, but come on, you got to
Yeah,
prioritize here.
Yeah, no doubt. So,
Good. Anything specifically you want to say about this game?
I don't know. Is Lethbridge going to go far with the goalie? Looked good. He's been hot lately, but
Yeah.
he is young. He was out of position a few times, and we just couldn't capitalize on him.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say he played outstanding in that game, but he made some big saves.
but good enough. Yeah, we
Yeah.
didn't really test him too much.
There's
felt like-
quite a few rebounds there. I thought
Yeah.
just couldn't get a handle on. We had some good chances. Like Clayton had a couple glorious chances, and he had a breakaway.
Clayton, yeah, he's he doesn't have that scoring touch,
No,
does
he
he?
doesn't. Oh man,
He's a big kid. He
I know.
almost seems more like he'd be more of a defenseman. Don't you think? Like a big guy like that, and he's not terribly skilled in the
yeah, for
scoring department. Maybe he'd
Yeah.
be better as a defenseman. How he ended up as a
sure. Forward.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, but yeah, he had some good chances set up. Had the little breakaway after coming out of the box. Man, he needs a goal too.
He needs a goal this season. He has to.
Yeah,
I mean, we're running out of time now, but he's had his chances, and he I don't know. I don't think he quite has the power from the point yet to be
Yeah.
getting those shots through. And if he does get one, it's probably going to be a tip
Ugly
or
one,
you know,
off of somebody's body.
yeah. Hopefully off one of them.
Yeah,
An opposing player is how it would probably go in, but I'd love to see him get one this season. I think if he does, hopefully it's at home and we get to see his celebration, because I think it'd be pretty enthusiastic.
I don't know. The top line, they're struggling a little bit again.
Yeah.
Cole had a really good chance there. Missed it was a wide open net, but I mean, he was on quite a sharp angle.
Mhm,
That's the one
mhm.
that hit the ref.
Yes,
And then
yeah,
Pratt actually had a good chance on his backhand off the ref there.
yeah,
But
yeah.
they've
It's on
been.
his backhand.
I know Cole was really looking to score again against Lethbridge. He was
No
out there.
kidding.
Quite a
Sure
few
he was.
shots on the power play,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
missed the net a few times, and yeah.
yeah. The power play was a little bit better. I noticed Strew was winning some of the faceoffs, which helped out a lot.
Yeah, the power play looked much better on Saturday. We had
Yeah.
control. We were moving the puck. We didn't get any great scoring chances off
No.
it, but I mean, at least it looked better.
Some decent movement.
Like
Yeah.
we were in the zone, had zone time, had control, moving
Yeah.
it around. You know, it looked way better than Saskatoon, where we couldn't even get in the zone, and it was just board battles, and then
Yeah.
2 minutes were gone just like that.
Yeah, yeah,
In February, the power play was okay. It was above the season average in February. We were 9 of 44, which was 20.5%.
yeah.
And season average is only 17.5. It looked bad, but I mean, we were getting some goals, so it wasn't
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah,
But what really stood out in February was the penalty kill.
Mhm.
39 of 44,
Which is
88%.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
that's unreal.
And that's before, February, so that's before the March game in Saskatoon where we went 9 for 9.
Yeah,
So it's only gone up from there.
yeah. That statistic is, and 3 shorties in there.
Plus 3 shorties. So you gave up 5 power play goals and you
Yeah.
scored 3
yeah,
shorties. So that's a -2 for the month.
-2.
Like, we'll take that all day
yeah.
long.
Absolutely, that's an impressive statistic for this team.
So it's nice to see them improving, right? That's all
Absolutely.
we're asking for, right? Just
'Cause
some improvement.
What was our PK at the beginning of the
Oh,
season?
it was terrible.
Horrendous. We were one of
Yeah.
the worst in the league.
We were giving up multiple power play goals a game.
Yeah, yeah,
And to give up 5 all month,
yeah,
you know, and it has been our best month. You know, we went 5 and 6. We had 5 wins, so
yeah. After a dreadful January, February was a nice
nice bounce
turnaround.
back. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, a tough week. Like I said, not totally surprising. Some good teams getting ready and gearing up. So just a little disappointing on the efforts in that Red Deer and Saskatoon game. I thought just didn't look sharp at all.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of just being outplayed by better teams there.
Yeah.
But I know we've played with Red Deer a bit before, Saskatoon. We haven't, we had that shootout here, the 6-5 or whatever it was. But other than that, they've really had us, definitely.
So speaking of which, we're going to continue on with our Players of the Week picks. So a little bit tough maybe to pick some guys this week, but I do want to recognize, and maybe we can talk about it, is Cole Dubinsky. Not really sure why he wasn't playing these last. I think he was out for 4 games. Wasn't on the injury report, but he came back after that little stint away, and I thought he looked good. He had that goal against Red Deer, and just watching him play, he's playing with some confidence out there. He's doing some moves and dangles, but I'm also recognizing he makes some really nice passes. I don't know. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but looking at his size and maybe what he could do and some of the playmaking ability, kind of maybe a young Trey-Fix Wolanski guy out there that can distribute that puck.
Yeah, and I thought he looked good in the Red Deer game. He looked good in Saskatoon game for as much as we didn't look good in Saskatoon game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he had that little spinorama pass to Alkamov, like 2-on-1.
Yeah,
I thought he should have shot it because he's on his forehand. But
and it was very similar to that goal. It could have been similar to that goal in Red Deer, the same spot. And the Red Deer goal, he just showed like patience, right? Just held it. Everyone kind of got out of position. Then he just found the far side of the net on the ice. It was just a nice little goal. But yeah, that pass to Alkamov was nice. And I don't know. It does bring up why he wasn't playing though. And
it sounds like he was a healthy scratch. So, and I was going to bring up the topic. Well, was it really the smartest idea to make this team for him to be picked for this team? Like, he's a 16-year-old. He missed the training camp, so that hurts.
It's an injury.
You put yourself back that month-ish, and then you're playing catch up, and then he had the suspension, and now he's a healthy scratch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, was it worthwhile for him to play here this year? Like, it's nice for him to get the experience, but maybe he could have played midget AAA, played 20 minutes a night, and got some. Not that he plays with confidence, but get some real confidence playing, with his own age group.
Yeah.
But then this weekend happens, and it's like, oh well, he does look like he belongs here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he just got to. I mean, they're young, and the consistency is always going to be an issue for the young guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
but he looked good this weekend, I thought, and I agree with your pick there.
And it brings up the question why he was a healthy scratch these 4 games,
especially when we were short forwards.
So short.
So it's a little confusing, but hey, the team sends a message, right?
Mm-hmm.
They sit him out. Oh, you got to be better, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
and he definitely looked better this weekend.
In terms of defensemen, kind of tough to pick someone this week. I just want to recognize Mackay Mitchell out there. He's out there. He's a young guy. You don't see him making terrible mistakes. He's learning. Had a bit of a scrap in the Saskatoon game. It wasn't much of one, but I don't know. I just happy to see these young guys out there and learning. And coach puts them out there, gives them lots of opportunity. There's time.
He played lots against Lethbridge there.
Yeah,
and he didn't look bad. Like, you don't notice him.
Right.
In a bad way,
and
right?
That's what we say is if you don't notice them, that's a defenseman. That's usually
a good thing.
An okay thing. So
yeah,
just shout out to Mitchell there on his couple of games. And who do you want to pick for this week?
I'm going to go with Alkamov.
Okay.
For forward.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't put up any points this weekend, but I mean, he looked good in that Red Deer game.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he looked decent in the Lethbridge game as well. Like, controlling the play. He's getting some opportunities.
Do you know I noticed with him, rather than him being always hit,
he's throwing some hits.
He's taken a bit of the initiative and being on the offensive side of some of those collisions, which is nice because in the first part of the season he was just getting beat up all over the place. So good for him for recognizing that he can't always be the one taking it, and he's got to lay some out.
Yeah, no, he had a good one against Lethbridge there. I can't remember who it was, but it was right in front of us, and he just nailed the guy.
It was so in the arena they picked Scholar's hit, but on the drive home I was listening and they picked his hit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, as the hit of the night. So
Yeah.
yeah, I thought those would always be aligned, but I guess they're not.
No, two different opinions, right? I guess so.
Yeah. And defenseman of the week?
Defenseman. I kind of noted Mitchell for the Lethbridge game.
Okay.
Saskatoon, I didn't really have anybody.
Yeah.
And Red Deer, I don't know, Puto, he played pretty good. But I might have to go off the board here and go McNabb at that game in Saskatoon.
Yeah.
Just, he played real well. He
did.
held us in there.
Yeah, he did.
He may have wanted that first goal back, the breakaway goal, but, he held us in that game even though we didn't look like we really had a chance to come back.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
he was flashing the leather out there, the blocker on the other side. He made
even
some
got
saves.
Recognition from Saskatoon's coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that in the post game. He specifically referred to McNabb that he played awesome, and I think he did. I don't know if we want to get into it now, but since we're done with the games, speaking of goaltenders, what do you see happening next year with these two? You got two 19-year-old goaltenders, probably could be starters,
And
it's a good problem to have, but
it is.
I don't know. What do you?
But I think you have to move on from one of them.
I think it's fair. You have to give one of them the chance they deserve.
Yeah.
Right.
And both of them will probably be back as a 20 the year after. Because neither of them are signed.
Yeah. And I agree. They probably will be back, and especially if what we've been hearing is that you can have a goaltender as a 20-year-old and not count to your.
Yeah, that's the
your
rumor out
320s.
there. Is there could be a fourth OA if it's a goalie.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And both of them would fit perfectly into that spot. Now, yeah, what do? You don't want to shoot yourself in the foot, though, because injuries happen quick.
Yeah.
And we've seen Paddock have a few injury bugs here and there, and it's nice to have that guy, but I don't know.
You got to bring up one of the young guys, though, that they have.
Yeah, because then you're going to end up with 19 and 20, or two 20-year-olds, and then at some point you're going to have nobody.
Yeah.
So you have to start developing that next guy, too.
And both, like, Pisani and Woodside, they're 17 this year, so they'll be 18 next year. They should be ready for next year, right?
Yeah.
They'll be 19 and 18.
Yeah, that's a tough decision. It's a nice problem to have, two good goaltenders. I think you have to let one go and get his chance to be a starter, though, somewhere.
Yeah, definitely.
I would venture to guess we would keep Paddock just because he's been around for so long, but I don't know. I don't think.
Yeah, I think McNabb's grown his stock.
He's making
look good
case
here.
for himself here. Yeah. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see how that plays out. Looking ahead to next week, just 2 games, Moose Jaw home and home. Moose Jaw's kind of at our number here this season. They're a strong team too, so we'll see how that goes. I'm not banking on too much. Would just like to see they've took it to us a few times.
Yeah, like to see a good effort. Are we going to get a point out of these 2 games? That'd be nice, but it's
not going to hold my breath on that one.
Yeah.
I just like to. They've put up 5-6 goals on us lately. It'd be nice to keep it a little closer. I just hate that freaking horn and Moose Jaw. The less I have to hear that, the better.
Yeah, that is quite.
I hate their
annoying.
goal horn. Ugh. Yeah. So those 2 games, again, we got to keep up. We got to get some points. We only got 5 games left in the season here, folks. So it's gone. It's basically the season's over. We gotta. We're sitting right now is we're 3 points behind PG. We're both just sort of sucking,
wallowing in our own.
Yeah, they're
here.
bad, we're bad, and we just would like to get some points. I would imagine. I don't know if we'll get any this week, but looking then into we got a game against Swift Current and then 2 against Brandon, and that's it. We need to get some points. So we have to get at least.
Yeah, we're 3 back, and we've got a game in hand.
It's gonna be tough. I mean, Swift Current they've beat some teams lately too, and they've also got whooped through their little Alberta road trip.
Yeah. Ooh, those afternoon games, Alberta and Edmonton and Calgary.
Yeah.
They gave up 20 goals
in 2 games.
Yikes.
Yeah. But we need some points here. I don't know if this weekend's gonna be it.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, and just speaking of PG and Prince George, they have a pretty decent podcast too. And I got to give them a shout out to their name. It's probably one of the best names, I think, for a podcast in hockey related. It's called Cat Scan, so that's pretty smart. I like that. Anyways, they were speaking to Jesse Gabriel. So he spent some time in PG, Brandon, and of course, Regina. A couple times. He had 2 stints here. Specifically, we had him back last year as our 20-year-old. And it's a really good interview. Interesting. Jesse's had a lot going on in his playing career and kind of a tough go. He talks about some injuries. He talked about what happened last year. He had that foot injury that happened with a couple minutes left in that last. I remember we saw that
home game against Swift Current here.
Was it the home game or the game in Swift?
Or was it the one
I think it was the game in Swift.
Okay.
Because I remember we were watching it and somebody came in and kind of fell on him and hurt his foot. And that was it.
He did play a little bit in the playoffs. A little bit.
Oh, okay. He did,
He did try it out a couple games, but you could see he wasn't healthy.
And he didn't play at all in the Memorial Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a tough injury for us to take because he was a 20-year-old for us, and that took a spot away.
And a skilled forward, right?
Yeah, and kind of a rough and tough guy. And anyways, it's a really interesting interview. He talks a little bit about his play style and where he's coming, where he's going. He's wet in the ECHL right now and actually had some injuries this year.
Yeah, he's done for the year. A couple concussions, so he's get healthy and hopefully back next year, he said.
Yeah, but worth a listen, kind of catch up on him.
Yeah, I think he's a bit of doesn't get along with most everybody. He's kind of...
No.
He definitely had some, not choice words, but he had an opinion with the Pats and how they handled this situation, his injury situation there. And even when his time in Brandon, he didn't get along with the head coach and the GM as much or as good as maybe he could have. But, he said he let him play and let him play his thing. But didn't have the most...
Jesse seems like one of those guys that he might be his own worst enemy.
Yeah,
the way he might, because you can see it on the ice, and I'm sure that translates a little bit to off ice dealing with people. And probably, I kind of liked him when he was here. He except he took some stupid penalties sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what game was that where he was? I think it was a Swift Current game where he had 2 of them coming at him, and he put his stick up in their face.
Oh,
he was
like Oglethorpe style.
Yeah, that was... Anyway, it's a really good interview. You should check that out. Otherwise, looking around the league, things are really starting to fall into place for the playoffs. That West is... Well, the U.S. division, for sure, is pretty settled. It looks like... Everett, Portland, Spokane, TC have all clinched playoff positions. How it'll play out and where the seedings are might...
I think Everett should get first. Yeah, they're 10 points up on Portland. Portland's 5 up on Spokane, and Spokane's 7 up on Tri-City. So 6-7 games left.
Right.
Those teams. So it should stay pretty even there.
The Centrals, Edmonton's clinched, but if you look at, this is what's scary is none of these teams have even clinched yet. So you have Lethbridge, Calgary, Medicine Hat, Red Deer, who haven't even. They could theoretically one of them could be out, right? Until they clinch.
Yeah, it's that Brandon that's hanging on there after they got whooped last night in Edmonton.
Yeah.
Because they're 2 points back at Red Deer.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those 2 teams is not going to make it. I think the next win or Red Deer, Brandon loss, Lethbridge should clinch.
Yeah, Lethbridge, I'm not a mathematician, but they're sitting at 80 points.
Yeah, and Brandon is 66.
So, I guess mathematically they must be able to still not make it, but I would imagine...
Yeah, they should be in
there
anytime. Looks like it's down to Medicine Hat, Red Deer, Brandon. Because they're all within 3 points.
Yeah.
Calgary's got a 5-point lead on Medicine Hat, so they look pretty locked into a playoff spot of some sort.
Brandon, Medicine Hat, Red Deer. Medicine Hat at 69, Red Deer at 68, and Brandon at 66. So we'll see how that plays out. Something interesting to watch over the last couple of weeks here. I think the East is pretty much set in terms of, PA.
Yeah, they're not going to move.
Locked in 1. Saskatoon will be 2, Moose Jaw 3. So for sure that'll be that first round matchup, Saskatoon. Moose Jaw, we'll see who PA plays. They'll play the last seed, right? So
yeah,
it could be
the lowest one. So the Brandon or kind of Red Deer at this point. Whoever squeaks in.
PA, they lost at least 1 game to Red Deer this year, if not 2. That was one of their first losses, actually, was against Red Deer. I know that's a long time ago now, but...
Well, then they just lost back-to-back games against Brandon here recently.
Right. I wouldn't be sleeping
But
if
I mean,
I was PA.
they had some injuries there for a bit. Leeson
Yeah.
and Scott were
Yeah.
both out. Yeah, in the BC division, it looks like Kamloops is hanging on,
Yeah.
but I don't think they're going to catch Kelowna.
No.
So it's going to be Kelowna, Victoria, and then Vancouver's locked up first place in BC division. Vancouver still has a chance of passing Everett. They're only 2 points behind Everett for first overall in the West.
Yeah, and they have a game in hand right now. They have 61
true, yeah.
and Everett's 62, and they're only 2 points back. So theoretically, they very easily could surpass them. Yeah, so overall, just 2 games this week. Some tough ones against Moose Jaw. Hoping for some good efforts. Yeah, maybe squeak out a point here.
Yeah, we
maybe
got to keep pace with PG here.
Yeah, that's all we're looking for is a couple points here and there. And
they should be looking at it too and like, well, maybe we should, let a game or two slide.
Yeah.
But, I
Who
mean,
knows
the
what
coach already got fired, so who knows, right?
Yeah. Okay. We'll wrap it up for this week. We'll see you guys at the rink.
All right, have a good one.
Good night.